So, to begin, we are coming hot in the box. I am Carnage.
I am Slice.
And we have a very special guest on today. We have Sahna from HELLSKATE.
Hi.
We are so excited to talk to you.
We finally got here. We managed it. Good job, everybody.
This whole time and like going through what we did to get this going, like we're good.
I am proud of each and every one of us.
Me too.
First of all, I'm going to say just preemptively, because I already know it's going to be true, but we are going to have a fucking blast at RollerCon. Just saying.
Yes. I'm so glad you guys are going.
Oh no!
We're excited.
Have you been before?
I have not.
I've been to a RollerCon when we had it in Providence, like Rhode Island, years ago, like 2012 is like when I went. It was
okay, but it wasn't like RollerCon the brand. It was a different.
Honestly,
wasn't that the one that like Bruce Boutique used to like help put on?
It was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was 8. It dates me. I'm old. But yeah, it was a long time ago.
The first one I went to was 2007, I think, or 2006 maybe. I can't remember. It was like early years.
So in like
way
little
different
baby years. Yeah, right?
Yeah, totally different era.
Oh, I know. So tell us a little bit about how you got into derby. Like what brought you into derby? And I know that you're no longer skating, I believe. That's correct.
Yeah, sadly I am not. I do for fun, like just outside or at the rink. But so I got into derby by way of the Roller Girls A&E show that like really like I was like, oh my God, I got to do this. Like, why don't we have a league around here? And because it was, when it was on TV is when I saw that show back in 2005, 2006. And then a girlfriend of mine was like, just one day, she's like, hey, by the way, I joined a roller derby team. And I was like, what? So she gave me the scoop on like the final open tryouts that they had. And I went and I was just sold. And then I played for about 2 seasons. And then.
So did you know how to skate before you started, or did you like?
Well, I hadn't been on roller skates for, let's see, I think I started playing when I was around 28, 26, 27, 28. And I hadn't been on skates for probably 12 years. I had bladed. Like, in the 90s, there was one summer I bought a pair of blades and bladed, but it picked right back up. It was just like getting back on a bicycle.
Oh, nice.
That's like, it sounds so like much like my story, because I hadn't when I started derby, I started in 2011, but like I hadn't skated for like maybe 15 years. I hadn't put on roller skates, maybe 20, but I had bought rollerblades because I'm like, I know how to roller skate, so I could totally do this. No.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
No,
and I get how people stop.
No, I'm like,
I don't know how to like how they like don't, because like my ankle is just like just like to like be parallel. I can't do it.
Yeah, it was bad, and I was like, this is foreign to me. I don't understand the mechanics. It was almost, I'm a skier, and it was, I tried snowboarding once, and I'm like, once is enough. This is horrible. I can't do this again. That's kind of how I feel about rollerblading versus roller skating. I'm like, it's not for me. I can't do it. I'm done. And so I get really offended when people are like, oh, are you still rollerblading? No, bitch, I am not fucking rollerblading at all.
Right.
Which is funny because you actually make a reference to that in the comic. It's like, how's your rollerblading thing going?
Well, what's funny is, so I'm actually redoing. I had a professional letterer redo all the noise effects and the bubbles and all the text in the comic, because as you know, there was a snafu. But he redid everything inside the book as far as the words go, and he didn't know roller derby at all, and he sent me a message just recently. He's like, so what's the deal about the anti-rollerblade thing in the book? I'm like, it's just a thing. We're not really anti-rollerblade, because a lot of refs rollerblade and stuff.
Right.
But quad skates are way cuter, and they're just retro, and they're just cooler in my mind. Like, it's no judgment. It's just, you will never catch me in a pair of blades again. And I said, so it's just a thing. And also, like, when we first started the league in Utah, like back in 2006, people would always just assume we were rollerblading, and we would always have to correct people. So it was really fucking annoying. And so I've never let go of that little grudge against blades. But I love that other people love them. That's cool.
Yeah. Hey, you do you, but like, also, skates are where it's at. Quads till I die.
Same.
Yep.
I get excited watching people like who are able to do it. Like, I'm like, that's so cool, but it's like, that's not for me.
What did you say? That and what?
Well, our fishnets.
Oh, fishnet. Oh.
I come from the era of the roller derby where it was fishnets all day, all the time. You know, so like,
oh yeah,
roller skates and fishnets are just a perfectly good marriage for me. But our coach that used to teach us for derby, God bless his soul, because he was actually such a cool guy, and he was an Olympic like speed skater, and so he was a no joke, like true legit athlete, and none of the rest of us were, because it was 2006 and none of us really, we took it serious, but we were really excited about the after parties. So we weren't like, you know, the level of athletic ability that I'm sure he wanted us to be, and I'm sure it just frustrated him to no end. But he was he still is to this day, like, an incredible rollerblader or inline skater.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the people that can do it. I actually just came across like my TikTok or something about like these two chicks that were just like weaving through cones on like one wheel of their rollerblade, and I'm just like,
wild.
Whoa, I have so much respect for that. I will never do it, but I have a lot of respect for it.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah. So there's no hate. It's just like, it is a funny inside joke, like, within the roller derby community, because like, I feel like everybody gets asked that, like, how's your rollerblade thing going? And it's like,
gotta give it a little ribbing.
Yeah. And my response is always slightly snarky, because most of my responses are almost always slightly snarky. So like, when somebody's like, how's your rollerblade thing? I'm like, it's roller skates, we're on the quads. And they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, it's okay, but like, it's going great, thanks.
You're so cute, because I'm not that nice. I'm just like, ew, never. Like, I'm like ew, David. Like, no. You're not.
I know, that's me. That is me. I'm like, oh no.
Well, the thing is that the people that usually say that to me are like, so I'm a kitchen and bath designer, and like, clients who I have worked with over the last 16 years, like, they'll come back and like, I'll do other projects for them, and they're like, how's the rollerblading thing going? And I'm just like, it's skates, it's quads, thanks. So I can't trust me. In my mind, I'm like, ew. Oh.
Yeah. And
they
they're
are
so
rollerblades.
Yeah, people that don't know, they're so confused. They're like, you can see them spinning on four wheels in their mind and being like, what? People still fucking do that? So like emboldened by the blade.
And that's what kills me. It's like, roller skates have been around for way fucking longer. Why are you defaulting to rollerblades? Like, you roller skated when you were a kid, chances are. Like, why are you talking about blades?
I know. I feel the same way. So stupid.
It's so stupid. It's okay. That's right. So, what was your derby name when you skated?
Miss Disco Bliss. So I went by Disco.
Nice. Tell us the origin.
You signed me inside.
Hold on. I sure did, Pumpkin. I sure did.
Pumpkin.
I love it when people call me Pumpkin.
My sister and I call everybody Pumpkin. I think I got that from my sister because she's always like, "Oh, Pumpkin! Oh, there it is! Oh, how cute!"
Yeah, I have it.
Yay! Yeah, my husband's pro boxing name was Disco Dave, and so I was just having a hard time like coming up with a good name, and I'm like, I'll just be Miss Disco, and then I'm like, no, I got to add a little something. So Miss Disco Bliss just rhymed or felt good at the time.
Oh, that's great.
Now I've dropped the Miss and I just go by Disco Bliss.
Disco Bliss.
Yeah.
That sounds like it would be like a fun drink.
Yeah.
Like the Disco Bliss.
The Disco.
You had it?
Yeah.
Have you had the Disco Bliss?
What would be in that drink?
It would edible glitter.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. Like no matter what it is.
I think I'd probably have to, in a Disco Bliss, I think I'd have to have some rum in there. But I think, it's got to be fruity and sweet and just smell like a stripper.
I love that. Like a Sex on the Beach with edible glitter in it.
Oh, yes.
A Disco Bliss.
Yes.
If we could put some CBD honey in there, I'd be good.
I'm gonna make one.
We're gonna have one in RollerCon together.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it. I love that.
I love it. So, Disco, what sent you to the box this week?
What sent me to the box this week?
Yes.
I don't know. Like, give me an example. Give me an example. I'm trying to think of all the naughty things I did.
All right. I'll go first. Okay. What sent me to the box this week? I'm having a hard time thinking of what sent me to the box this week.
You're in Florida. What about the antique show? That antique shop that you went into.
So, well, the things that sent me to the box this week, I don't want to piss off like anybody in our audience, but like so I went to Florida this weekend to visit my mother-in-law and her new husband and my husband's aunt who is very unwell. But in our off time we went to a flea market in in Florida. And I will tell you, first of all, I am not a huge fan of Florida personally because it's very flat and it's very beige. And there's just so many strip malls and stucco and cookie cutter houses. And it makes my little designer heart very sad. But I went to this strip mall. I mean, this flea market. And oh, Jesus Christ, please save us all. Because if you ever want to see the best of the best, please go to a Florida flea market.
Oh my God.
There were genderized weapons. Like, here, buy your girl this pink bow and arrow or this pink knife.
What it was like on the box was like real free girl. Like was like the label like real free girl. Like
Oh wow.
And like pay down by the knives. So it was and there was a lot of I felt very uncomfortable because there was just a lot of political leanings that I don't necessarily subscribe to.
Sure.
And I just felt, because look at me, I'm literally this purple-haired, very funky-looking woman walking through there, and like I actually had a guy on a microphone who was on a microphone in the flea market be like, "Hey, you with the hair, you must have been like on TV or something." And I'm just like, "Oh my god, please."
Oh my gosh. Was this like a small town in Florida?
No, it's Melbourne, Florida,
Okay.
which is right on the coast. But then they had like pro-life pamphlets in every bathroom I went to, which was also like really, really like very odd to me.
Yeah.
That's in case you wanted to get an abortion in the bathroom.
Oh no, right.
Yeah.
So I'm talking you out of it.
Yeah,
Right,
just
right,
in case.
right.
Just in case you were thinking like in case you needed to get one.
First.
Yeah.
So
just in case you went to go meet somebody in the bathroom to get an abortion.
Yeah, I tossed the pamphlets and that's what sent me to the box this week.
Oh, that's good.
That's my sentence. That's my penalty was I pushed my political views on people that probably don't want it.
Oh gosh, I gotta think about this. What did I do?
Well, while you're thinking, Slice, what sent you to the box?
So I recently got 2 Bengal cats, and they're kittens. And while we were away, I don't remember. Oh, I was when I took my son to derby practice, and we came back, and one of them had knocked over, like one of those like wax melty things, like Scentsy, like it has like you put the wax cubes in it and it melts.
Yeah.
Well, they knocked it over and it had like wax all over my floor. And instead of Googling how to get rid of that, I poured hot water on it, going like, "Oh, it's just gonna melt. It's just gonna melt." And all I ended up doing was spreading the wax more on the floor.
Bless.
And then I Googled it, and then I was like, "Oh, this could have been way easier," and I just made life way harder for myself. So that's what sent me to the box.
That's a good one too. I really, I was home alone all weekend, so I had nobody to answer to. It was great.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was great. But maybe I guess I kind of failed at getting my husband a birthday card or a gift. I did not do either.
Oh, but no.
To be fair, he was going out of town for the weekend for his birthday. So I feel like we're even. But maybe I still should have, gotten something. That's probably what definitely sent me to the box.
That's a good one.
That's a fair one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
I'm kind of a dick. Oh, jeez.
You're forgiven. I forgive you. So
thank you. Thank you.
I forgive you 100%. I'm the type of person that like forgets to get presents, but I want presents. Like you're not allowed to forget my present.
I feel like it's not a big deal to me because for me, it's just like, you don't need to get me anything. It's totally fine. I get myself what I want anytime. You know what I mean? Like I take care of myself. So for me, it's not a big deal, but I think maybe he was a little bummed about it. Oopsies. But if I can come here and confess my sins and be washed clean, good.
You are forgiven.
You are forgiven. Praise to our not a cult roller derby. You are forgiven of all your sins.
Yes.
You have been released from the box.
You have been released from the box. You have served your penalty. Please watch yourself going forward. I'm on like penalty 6, so I'm like totally screwed the next time. So yeah. So what HELLSKATE. The reason why
let's talk about HELLSKATE.
Yeah.
The reason why we're here.
Because you have made this thing that is so cool. I mean, it is like the pinnacle of cool. It really is. Like when I opened up this beautiful gift pack that you sent us, I'm just like, It's like my punk ass 20-year-old self, like, on paper. I'm like, yeah, oh yeah.
Good.
I was like, I'm going back to back in the day, I was Madam Carnage, and then I got married and dropped the Madam. That's kind of like how you know, Miss Disco Bliss, just Disco Bliss.
Yeah.
But like looking at that, I'm like, oh, I loved it, and I'm so excited. I can't wait to read the other editions, and I cannot wait for this movie.
Oh, me either. I've been working on it forever, and I'm just like, can we just get this done, please? Like, before I'm 50, I used to say, if I don't have this thing done by the time I'm 40, I'm just going to die. And I'm like, if I don't have this thing done by the time I'm 50, I'll just keep going. I'll just keep on going.
We'll just keep going. It'll get done. It'll get done. So, what was your inspiration for HELLSKATE?
So I was playing derby, and then it was time for me to kind of like find another passion. Like I love roller derby so much. Like it's a part of my goddamn head, like every day. But I don't know. I think it was between like being compliance chair and dealing with the drama of the league. And so, you know, like I think I was just really exhausted and worn out by the drama, you know? And so I started looking for like something else. And I fell into an acting class, and that was just like, boom, it just stole my heart. So I started acting and working in film. And the first film I worked on was called, dun dun dun, The Sex Doll She Bitch. It was a 30-minute like short comedy about a blow-up sex doll who the characters in the film see as a real person, but like the audience sees her as the blow-up doll. It's a really quirky little show. It was so much fun to work on that. And I met, I'm still friends in like one of my very best friends I met on that show. And this was like back in, I want to say 2008. So, and it was a horror movie. And so there's a lot of fake blood and, you know, just it was just ridiculous fun. It was so much fun. So once that show was over, I was getting ready to have like my final game. And I was just like, I want to make a horror movie because that was so much fun. And I was really new to the film industry, but like, that's just what happens. You work on one show and you're like, oh my God, I can do this. You know, you just get super excited. And then I was like, but what is it going to be about? Because I'm not like the most giant horror film fan. Like it's not like the first thing I gravitate to, but it was just so much fun to create one. And then I was just sitting on my couch and watching the Rihanna Disturbia video. And I'm like, oh my God, I need to combine roller derby and horror. Like this is it. And so that music video really like aesthetically, like just inspired everything. So from then on, it's been HELLSKATE.
One of the biggest vibes that I get from the comic is like Evil Dead meets roller derby. Like that's like what I pair it with. Like the Evil Dead kind of concept of, you know, demons and possession meets a roller derby team.
Yeah. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I was like, ooh, I love this.
Oh, cool. I like that's fun.
Yeah, and I too am not like super into horror, like psychological horrors I cannot do because my imagination just, I can't like be at home alone for like a year after because I am a baby. But like I love campy horror though, like where you know it's like not real.
Right. Yeah.
And that's kind of the image, and I think Slice, you nailed it right there. Is like it kind of did remind me of like an Evil Dead type of like the zombie
like
thing.
the early Evil Dead, like with like the fake blood and Bruce Campbell, like kind of campy-esque type of feel.
That's so funny. I love that. I really love that. I've never heard anybody say that, and I haven't ever thought that in my mind, but I like that.
Nice.
I might go down that road a little bit and try to.
You should, absolutely. If you wanted to. You're welcome.
Oh, thanks, guys.
But isn't that like one of the things that you've talked about, like in a recent interview that you did, is that you were saying that when you finish the series of the comic, that you would love to see people take on the comic and kind of make it into their own.
Yeah.
So it could go in like a variety of different ways.
For sure. That would be really cool to see. Yeah, that would be really cool to see people's interpretation of where they want the story to go. Like, I can't obviously give anything away, but yeah, like that would be like, I think, because I think I've left the ending in such a way that anything could happen.
Nice.
Like, it's either, for some people, it's just like going to be, well, I don't want to say anything, but yes, I'm excited to see what other people come up with, for sure.
Well, and I think that with the way that COVID has actually helped roller skating, you know, like people, when they were stuck, they like inside, they bought roller skates, and like there's a resurgence of roller skating. So the fact that you're coming out with this movie that is based around roller skating and horror, like I think that's a vein that once you tap it and release it into the giant world, it's gonna, I'm so excited to see where it goes.
Thank you. If I could just move the train a little faster, but I feel like everything's happening, you know, when it's supposed to happen. And but yeah, when all the roller skate companies were selling out during COVID, and I was like, oh my God, like I'm missing the moment. But really, you know, whatever. I'm not. It's all good. It's going to happen when it's supposed to. But yeah, definitely seeing all these people all over the world just embrace the magic of roller skates has been really, really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And given us way more cool accessories also, because they're just, these businesses are coming out with everything.
I know. It's true. And on top of that, like we've been reached out, like several people have reached out to us up around like Derby comics and Derby movies and Derby like documentaries. And it's like, I said to my husband, I'm like, I can't, like, this is so amazing. Like, it's so great that like, A, people are reaching out to us, and B, that like we get to share it with the world, because all that Slice and I'm going to speak for you, all that we want is just to bring Derby to the masses. Like, we want to spread the good word of roller derby.
Yes, me too. Yeah, totally. I mean, that's why I'm just like, really, I'm chomping at the bit to just make a movie, get it out there, and hopefully, you know, people can see like there's so much more beyond just like, you know, there's still that stigma that people hear roller derby and they think, oh, you're a butch dyke, like these horrible things. Like, maybe you want to cut that out that I said that, but that's like, it's the reaction people have. In fact, that was, I believe, a comment made about some local team members who, like, they were attacked by some guy, and I think he literally was on Facebook and was like, oh, these miserable butch dyke blah blah roller derby chicks, but like he was just upset that, I don't know, it was a whole thing. But yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? Like, I shouldn't be surprised. I mean,
well, you're not wrong. Like, I literally just had an interaction with this older man the other day. It was like, there's a skate class that goes in before my son's roller derby, and he was talking about like roller derby, and he was like, well, roller derby is just like a thing for girls to get their aggression out. And I was like, well, first of all, like, my son is here, like like it was so like old-minded that I was like, first of all, I can't believe you're even saying this to me.
Right.
Like,
right.
What part of me looks like I'm here for that? Like,
yeah. And I remember, like, it was always like, we were always like, you know, just these, and then like, or whores. We were whores, you know, whores on skates, or we were just nothing but like hard ass manly lesbians. It was just like one or the other, you know? And I'm like, well, so what if we're either, motherfucker? Like, this is like, we're out here living our life, being who we are, and sorry you're offended about it, but like, we're women who are seeking community. We're seeking like to express ourselves in different ways that maybe like you don't feel comfortable doing, but like, this is like us. Like, we're women of all kinds of life. Like, there's doctors, there's engineers, there's like stay-at-home moms, there's whatever we are. We all kind of like are attracted to this magic of roller derby. And it just sucks that there's still that stigma of just the stereotype that's, I don't know.
Yeah, it's true. I mean,
and expansive in gender identity as well. Like, no longer just women is like women, non-binary, like gender fluid, gender expansive. Like, it's just people looking for a community doing something that they love.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Like, why are you trying to rain on our parade?
People just don't like to see other people having a good time.
That's so accurate.
They really don't. And especially like, you're having a good time, you're making positive changes in yourself. And sometimes, like, let's be honest, sometimes if you're making positive changes in yourself, like, that can rub up against the other people in your life, like, that aren't, they don't want you to change, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think a lot of people have experienced friction within roller derby and their like regular life.
Yeah,
but
I've definitely experienced that as well.
It's just too bad. It's too bad.
Yeah,
I think we've had this conversation too, like, of like how roller derby can help you cut out the toxic in your life, because you build confidence doing it, and you kind of start seeing like the toxic things in your life of like what you need to cut out, because it messes with you and your boundaries and what's not good for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like to your point, how it's all inclusive now. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people in derby now who are learning and like adjusting their behavior and their beliefs to be more inclusive, you know, whereas before they were probably more closed-minded, or they weren't around like diversity, you know, in the way that we see the world like evolving into, like, thank God, you know. And I think it's like, it's teaching a lot of us in the space, like, some privileges or some old belief systems that maybe we didn't realize were still ingrained in us. And it's just expanding and opening everybody's mind. Like, I'm hoping that's what I feel like I'm seeing in the sport and the communities. And I'm hoping that's what people are really experiencing. It seems to be that way, because it was only women for such a long time. And then it was like, then slowly but surely we started seeing more trans skaters come in. And then it's just really, it's been awesome. Like, what other sport does this so welcomely? Like, it's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what, to me, why I'm so passionate about derby, because of that ability of what it's done for a sport, you know. Because when I first started, back when you first started too, like, I mean, it was very much just cisgender women. And then you had your men's teams,
white women,
white women, definitely
white women.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we started getting more gender fluid, transgender, and it was like, oh, well, yeah. I mean, because why not? Like, they're cool. Yeah. We're cool. Coolness should be together, you know, like, and yes, like we've discussed in other episodes, like, yeah, we've had some growing pains, but we are growing. We are learning. We're getting better. We want to do better, you know, whereas some other sports are, I mean, I think I heard in that flea market, like, I think I heard things like, you know, well, now they just need to stay out of our sports now, like, in regards to transgender people, like, they find their own sport or what have you. It's
my God. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, do people hear themselves? Like,
yeah. They don't.
They just don't hear that. Like, it's just like
No.
you're just repeating this, like, the same thing that has been said for years, and it's like you keep coming out on the wrong side of history. Like, why do you keep saying these things? Like,
Yeah,
evolve.
I know. They're so detached. I don't understand it, but hopefully, I mean,
People.
hopefully all these people can have a roller derby skater in their life at some point that can bring them to the community and open their eyes a little bit. Like,
I agree, and I think they're, like Carnage said, I think there's definitely growing pains, but I see a lot of people who are trying to be the change, and I think that's what's important. It's people really making an effort to be the change and trying to spread that, like, encourage other people to be the change, and you're seeing more of that, and that's what I like seeing.
Yeah, me too. And and hopefully, people, we're all hopefully learning, and I'm speaking more about, straight white people. Like when we hear another group of people call us out, right, on some behaviors or like some phrases that we're used to saying, or like anything bad behavior, right, that we don't realize is bad behavior. Like the knee-jerk reaction is, no, like, how dare you be too woke, or blah blah blah. It's like this knee-jerk defensive, because we don't want to admit, like, oh whoa, why am I triggered by this? Like, we need to take a breath, take a step back and say, why am I triggered? Okay, maybe they're onto something. Maybe I need to like give this some really deep inner thought about, okay, this is bothering me because there's some truth to what they're saying, right? And I think within the roller derby community, I think it's a space, and I know there's been recent issues surrounding certain, we don't need to go into it, and I don't even have all the details. Yeah. And so, but hopefully these have brought some necessary and painful learning experiences, and people that maybe, I'm hoping they came to the other side, like, I really hope. But that's what I see as roller derby. But I know, like, not everybody has that positive experience, and which is a bummer. But I think it definitely gives people a safe space to be educated and learn and grow within.
Yeah, I agree, for sure. And I think with things that, I think with the resurgence, like we were talking about with after COVID and people skating more, and like this new kind of wave of junior derby coming up and becoming more popular, and more people going out for roller derby teams in their adulthood. And then the more people you have, the more people who are making movies, making comics, making books, making young adult novels. It's like, I mean, this podcast has brought me so much joy and just hope, because it's like, oh, like, yeah, this is like a thing that people really need to see and need to learn about, because it's not just about skating. That's the thing that holds us together, but like, it's the community at large, and look at all these different perspectives and look at all these different views, and this is what you can learn from us. And yeah, HELLSKATE, yeah, people are, it's horror, it's skate, but it's your artistic interpretation of what you can do within the sport. Right. It's super amazing.
And it's also a very diverse piece of media. Like, your comic is very diverse. It's not your, like, cookie cutter comic. It's, the characters are diverse, their relationships are diverse, and it, not just your comic, but the other media that we're seeing from other people too. It's like, it's not your cookie cutter. It's like what people need to see, that's coming from our community, that is definitely encouraging change. So it's so nice to see that coming from our community.
And it makes it more normalized, right? It makes us like, yeah, okay, we have a relationship between two women, we have a relationship between whatever, like, it makes it's a non-issue. and that's
yes. And Carnage, that's exactly why I never I don't tell people about the different relationships. Like if they don't know anything about HELLSKATE or the characters, I don't lead with, oh, it's a love story about like two women. Like I don't ever lead with that, because I feel like then you're putting it in a box and people will shut it off immediately and I just want to can we just normalize just people like living their life the way they need to? Like, I don't feel like people need to just come out and be like, this is my sexuality, like, and lead with that. Like, lead with humanity first, like, so yeah, that was, yeah. Normalization is so important.
Definitely.
Easily said, but I like it.
Yeah, easily said. One day we'll get there.
Yeah.
Here's hoping.
So what do you see, like, so where are you at as far as like making the movie goes? Because I know that the comic, it started out as kind of like something tangible for the movie, right?
Yeah.
So and then it just kind of became its own thing. But the real goal for you is the movie. So where are we at with the movie?
I wish I could say I'm much further, but right now the goal is get the comic series out and really like build up the IP by way of the comic. And that way, I'm kind of like testing the waters with the people who who are following HELLSKATE and are how they're reacting to it, what they love about it, what they don't like about it. And I really just want to like build up the community around it before I go to big investor people, because then I hold a lot more power that way. And in film, it's such a sticky, it's like the music industry. You kind of like sign over your IP. People have a great idea and they want to see their movie made and they want it out there, and they just sign the first like cool looking deal they can, but then they lose all creative control. The story's rewritten. They don't get a lot of money, if any, from it, and then it's just kind of like shelved, and so for me, this is like it's such a bigger project than me, that I really wanted to like just slow down with it and just take time to do it right. And even if it takes many, many years longer, which it has already, and that's okay, because what I love about roller derby too is that there's no age limit. So like you can't really, like I'm not going to really age out of it anytime soon. So that's what's also really special about the film is, I don't plan on just hiring 20-something-year-olds. Like I want to hire like people who are, in their 40s and still skating and just having a great time in life. Like it's not your life doesn't end at 29 or whatever Hollywood thinks it does. But yeah, so building up the comic, and just the community around it before. I would love to be shooting in the next 2 years.
Okay.
Well, I'm just putting it out there. I'm in my 40s and I skate. And
this is your audition.
I am a theater junkie at heart. As far as you put me in front of a camera or a microphone, and I am the biggest ham that you will ever see. And you can.
Oh, it's true.
It's ridiculous.
It's so true.
It's kind of embarrassing.
It's ridiculous.
So
did you do theater?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're a little thespian.
Oh, I am.
I love it.
And incidentally, what was kind of funny about your story was it does kind of shadow mine in a way, because I was going through a pretty dark time in like my late 20s, and I was having a hard time just with depression and different things. And I was seeing a therapist, and she's like, well, you have to find something that brings you joy. Like you have to find something that makes you happy, or like that you could put a passion into. And I I was like, you know what? I really loved acting. Like, I really loved being on stage. And so I tried out for like our local theater, and I just did the audition, and they ended up going as more of like a kid's show than an adult's show, but whatever, it was fine. But like, just the fact that I did that, it like helped me reestablish like, okay. And then I heard about Derby, and I'm like, oh my god, it's like theater on skates. Okay.
Oh my god, I love that so much. I love that. That's so cool. Yeah.
It ended up happening like
similar paths.
Yeah, similar paths. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well,
and I'm 45, so I'm also in my 40s.
Yeah.
We've got all the time.
And, you know, like,
you got so much time.
So much time.
You got so much time. It's fine.
We're so enigmatic and energetic. Like, who cares what the number is?
Oh my gosh. You'll be around one day when Carnage gets a microphone in her hand, and it will be all over. It will.
Hopefully at RollerCon.
I hope so. Oh my god.
Maybe.
I really want to announce something at RollerCon. I really do.
Oh my god, you need to.
I've already reached out.
Really awesome. Well, you know what?
I know.
Maybe like you know, obviously this year no, but maybe in the future I can like, because I've always wanted to do a themed like HELLSKATE bout at RollerCon, like sponsor that. Ooh. And if that happens, you'll have to like jump on the mic and be the announcer.
Oh my god. I would like a dream. Like a dream.
It would be so fun.
Oh, so it would be like a horror skate type deal?
We'd have to come up with a cool like demons versus something or others.
Oh my gosh.
Something cool, you know. Because they always do the themed bouts that are really fun, and people get dressed up, and it's awesome.
Yeah, like the undead. The undead versus the skaters, like something like that. That'd be very cool.
Oh, what about like the undead versus the exorcist? Like, so it's like people dressed up as priests and nuns on one side, and then demons on the other side.
The Halloween dream.
I can see this now. I love a good theme.
Yeah, themes are always fun.
Yeah. So, can people get the HELLSKATE comic, and where can they get it?
So yes, they can get this limited edition first copy on the website, so hellskate.com. But that's really just domestic, so because shipping costs are so crazy. But if you're out of the country, just shoot me a DM and we'll try to figure it out. I know there's ways that we can get it into Canada, like cheaper, or even Ireland. There was like a little workaround we found. So yeah, there's always like, hopefully there's always something we can do, but yeah, hellskate.com. And then the second and third books are not made yet, so nobody get like too crazy excited, but you know, we're working on it.
Excellent. Yeah.
And they can also follow you on Instagram.
Mm-hmm. That's where I'm most active. Yeah.
Right.
Facebook, Instagram. I have a TikTok, but I still am trying to wrap my head around TikTok. And then it's just so much. Like you only have so much time in a day, like, you know. So oh my god. And then what else am I on? Oh yeah, Twitter. Yeah. I'm kind of everywhere. But nice. Instagram is like the most. And join the mailing list. Join the mailing list on the website. You get like a 15% off code for the comic book.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That is great. That is. I honestly, I cannot wait for the second and third to come out. So
me too.
I'm excited to see where it goes.
I'm very excited because we're working on a variant cover for this first issue to go with the new text inside. And I'm so excited because this artist is like one of my most favorite. She's just phenomenal. So I don't want to announce who it is yet, but like that should be out soon. And hopefully that edition will be on, I'm going to try to put it on Amazon so it's a little more accessible to people. But we'll see. Amazon's kind of tricky, and
yeah, it can be for sure.
Yeah. And you really don't make anything on Amazon. So it's kind of like, okay, well, let's spread the word, but going directly to the artist is always best.
That's right. Right. It is, for sure.
So at RollerCon, are you going to have a booth this year, or are you just going to RollerCon? You will have a booth.
I'll have a booth. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So people, if you're going to RollerCon, you can stop by the booth.
Yes.
Say hi.
Yeah. Yeah. Do it.
Definitely should.
We will. We're going to do that.
I expect you. I expect you to be seen at my booth. Like, I expect to hear you guys coming from a long way away.
You will.
Out. Like, I expect this.
Oh,
we will be bringing drinks with us. The Disco Bliss is what we will be bringing with you.
And I will be wearing my silver sequins blazer, so I will look like a literal disco ball.
Oh my god, I love balls. Yes. Glitter is my favorite thing ever.
Oh, there will be a lot of sequin and a lot of glitter.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Everywhere.
Oh, it's gonna be so much fun. I can't wait.
Yeah. It feels like it's right around the corner. I feel like we just got back from RollerCon. And then I feel like we're like, oh my god, hurry and packing up the van again to go down. So it's
please don't say that, because we have so much to do before July. Oh my gosh, there's so much.
So much to do. I'm kind of freaking out about it.
I know we were looking at our calendar this month, and I'm just like, holy shit, what the hell?
I know. It just is going so fast, but I'm really excited because I have 3 of my best friends that are coming. They all roller skate, but they've never been in derby, but they're coming as my helpers. And so they get to like take some classes and stuff, and it'll be fun. I'm excited for them to they'll get to experience derby as like real derby. Like the RollerCon is like real derby to me.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yay. Yeah. And you get to see, and not just derby, but like park skating, and you're getting skaters from everywhere. Yeah. All walks of life.
That's been really cool, because before it was just strictly roller derby. There was no other skate. So that's been a really cool evolution.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, let's face it, derby is hard on bodies. On everything, myself included. So having different alternatives that you can do, that's why Slice and I are putting on our Pride Cup short track roller derby tournament in July.
Okay. Can I ask you guys, because I've never heard of short track until I heard you guys like talking about it on a pod. What is short track?
The way that I describe it is, it's like take everything that there is about derby and cut it in half.
Basically. So instead of 4 blockers, you have 2 blockers.
Oh my god. Okay.
The track is much smaller, like half the size, and it's perfectly oval.
It fits in like a regulation size basketball court.
With ref lanes.
Oh. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, like small.
Wow.
And it is 30 minutes long. The whole game is 30 minutes long. And you have 7 players on each team. And every person, you have 10 jams per half. And everybody needs to jam at least once in sequential order.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So everybody wears a band on their arm, and it's 1, 2, 3, so on through 7. So then there's 3 players that jam twice. So you're really good jammers, you'll play them twice.
Okay.
And then everybody else goes out as 2 blockers per jam. And during the second half, it goes in opposite direction.
I love this. This is so awesome.
It's so great.
Now, is it more renegade style, like your hard hits, or is it okay?
Nope. So you can't do you can't do a hard hit to the back. You can come up to somebody's back and like drive them.
So more like ride outs versus big hits.
Like right.
Okay.
And penalties are self-regulating.
How does that work?
So like if you know that you came in too hot, to a pack, then you have to yield.
Oh, okay.
And if you cut the track, you have to yield.
Yeah, and if a referee gives you a penalty, you yield. You just basically yield your position and go behind the pack and then continue. And earning points is super easy because you just get 1 point per pass.
Yeah, there's no lead jammer.
Oh, yeah. This is really intriguing to me that you can actually play this on a basketball court.
Right, exactly.
This changes like so much.
So much. Yeah. So it's almost like, and the way I've told people is that it's almost like a pickup game of derby, like a pickup game of basketball. Like, because the max amount of people is 7, but you could play with less. And you only the minimum need 1 ref.
Okay.
And like,
and you need 1 person keeping score.
Yep.
And that's it.
Because there's no penalty box. It's really cool. So that's why we're really into it and kind of pushing, because I think a lot of people who have aged out, and I say aged out to mean anybody who feels like their body can't handle derby anymore, could play this and not risk so much injury that you can with regular derby.
Yeah. Oh wow, this is really cool. And so you guys are hosting a game for Pride. Is that right?
Yeah, we're putting together. We're still in the planning phases. I just wrote down like a whole bunch of notes today on the plane ride, but we are planning a tournament at the end of July where we're going to have between 6 and 8 teams playing against each other, single elimination, and it's going to take like 4 hours, 5 hours to do that.
Oh wow!
To play the whole tournament. Yeah.
And each team is going to be a color of the rainbow. That's why we're calling it the Pride Cup.
I did hear you say that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That is really
cool. All the money that we raise from that is going to go towards a charity, an LGBTQ plus charity.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's really exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way cool. Okay.
So we have
which is why I'm like, please don't tell me it's July yet.
So is this after RollerCon that you're doing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. The date, the tentative date is July 27th at this point.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's really cool.
Yeah, we'll welcome anybody from across the country to join us that wants to travel out to New England to do it.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, we're excited about it, but we just need to get going on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If anybody would like to sponsor this tournament, please let us know.
Put a little sponsorship packet thing together.
That's on the list.
Is it coming? Is it on the list?
It's on the list.
Market to hear.
It's on the list.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we pulled together some friends, so we have like a little committee. So it's not just the 2 of us that's planning it anymore.
Smart.
We have some support now, which is really nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to Psycho and Whiskey.
And Naya.
And Naya.
Naya joined it. Yeah.
That's right. Right.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I can't wait. That's so exciting. I'm like, are you gonna record it and so we can or live stream it? Okay.
Oh yeah, definitely.
For sure. For sure.
Oh, 100%.
Nice. Okay.
And hopefully if it all goes well, we'll make it an annual thing. But 1 step at a time. We just gotta make it first.
Get to the first one. Yeah. Well, you can do it. That's so awesome. That sounds really fun.
Well,
yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
You guys. I love talking to you.
This has been a wonderful conversation. It was great to learn about HELLSKATE and to learn about your journey here. And God, we wish you so much luck in getting this off the ground. I'm going to manifest it out to the Derby gods.
We're putting it out into the world.
I'm gonna we're gonna tag Greta Gerwig on this and be like, hey, you should totally.
Should we be like, what
this.
The hell?
You know what though? I'm not selling out to Hollywood, and Greta's pure Hollywood now. I love Greta. She's up there in Barbie clouds doing her thing. And like I'm like indie all the way. I'm grassroots indie all the way. But yeah,
we will tag all the indie people that we know.
Yes, all those people we know.
All those people we know.
Oh, you guys are so sweet.
Well, thank you again for joining us. We hope that you have a wonderful rest of your night, and also that the next two editions of the comic book come out soon.
Ooh, hopefully. And
did you have any questions for us?
Oh yeah.
When did you guys come out with this podcast? Because you haven't been out that long, right?
No.
Just July 2nd was our first episode.
Mm-hmm.
Babies.
A little baby pod.
We're a little baby pod.
You made it. You guys are crushing it. And you made it this far. I mean, that's a lot. Like, most people, they don't even get to 7 episodes? Is that the thing? Like, you get to 7 episodes, most don't make it that far.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, go us.
Hey, we did it!
No, you guys are totally... Do you guys have a YouTube channel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to go subscribe.
Yeah. You should.
Yep.
Everybody should go out and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yeah, because we've been posting our recent interviews on our YouTube.
Nice.
Which has been nice. So people can actually see our adorable faces.
See my freshly showered face.
And mine not freshly smell. I can't even talk. I just smell so red right now that
that's okay.
Else, reach out to me if you ever need me to share anything. I'll try to keep sharing when you guys launch new episodes and whatnot. But yeah, let me know.
Absolutely.
How we always cross promote, however we can help each other is awesome.
That's what we're all about. That's what we're all about. We will obviously return the favor.
Yeah. And I can't wait to give you a big hug when we see you at RollerCon.
And I better hear it from across the venue.
You will.
Oh my god, we're gonna spot you and we are gonna make a scene. We're gonna make a scene.
Yeah. Let's embarrass everybody around us.
Oh, we're going to.
I'm so good at that.
Feel free to cut out any talk that we had in this that you feel is we had some serious conversations. So,
which is good. I love transparent conversation. Yeah. That's really what our podcast has been based around, is having that transparent conversation and the real talks, along with being silly and funny and stuff. But things need to be said and people need to hear them. So
yeah, and I mean and that's I think what helps us is that we like to be as conversational as possible, and when conversations happen, things come up, but that's just who we are and how you are and how the people we talk to are, and but that's what makes us amazing in our own way.
That's what makes us awesome, Carnage.
Slice and I spend way too much time together.
Me too. We're
I love it. So, are you guys in the same town?
Not the same town. We live about 35 minutes away from each other, but obviously we're in the same Derby League.
Okay, is that how you guys met?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
One of the first things that Carnage, after we got a little bit to know each other, she was like, "You remind me of me."
I
was like, "Aw, so sweet."
That is so cute. But did you guys were you guys podcast fans before you decided to make one, or was it something that you were just kicking around for a while before pulling the trigger on it, or how did that come about?
I'm a big podcast listener. Like I listen to a lot
me
of
too.
podcasts. I mean,
I listen to so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a pottery business as well as my day job, as well as my podcast, as well as everything else. So while I'm working on pots, I listen to podcasts and stuff. So yeah, and then I think we started talking about doing a podcast like a couple weeks before we started.
But yeah, because we were like,
oh wow,
we went to Bodis together, and we were like, wow, we're really funny
and humble.
And so humble.
Mm-hmm.
Like we just were entertaining each other the entire time that we were together. We were like, we should start a podcast.
And then you did it real fast.
And then we did. Yeah, so it was like from what, like March or April, and then our first episode landed July 2nd.
But I think we like started really talking about it in earnest probably in June. Like we had kind of said something and then kind of like let that. We just planted a little seed. Yeah. And we just kind of like let the springtime happen so it could grow, and then
here you are blossoming.
Because, you know, like, sometimes people are like, you know, oh, we should start a podcast. And you're like, oh, yeah, totally. And then it doesn't really amount to anything. Yeah. But it just, like, it kept coming up of, like, no, but for real, we should, though.
And I will give it to Slice, because I would have been the one that kept talking about it. And finally, they were like, no, we're doing this. We're going to do this this day. We're doing this. I'm going to buy I bought the mic, and I'm like, oh, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just started buying equipment. I was like, we need this. We need this for the podcast. You're like, oh, okay. Oh.
Are you guys going to do a pod at RollerCon?
I think that we haven't decided exactly how we're going to plan it, because we do plan to skate too. But I think we're going to definitely get recording. Like, we're going to record while we're there, but not...
Yeah, I think we're going to do, like, a bunch of mini interviews, basically with, like, really anybody we can flag down. Because we have, like, little microphones that we can plug into our phones and do, like, little mini interviews. But I don't think we're going to do, like... It might just be, like, an episode of all of our mini interviews.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure. We have time.
You got a little bit of time. You got.
We'll plan it like a week beforehand.
That's totally what we're gonna do.
Amen.
Totally what we're gonna do.
Yeah, we're gonna be like, oh, we should probably figure out what we're gonna do for RollerCon like a week before. We'll talk about it
on the plane.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Yeah, we seat of our pants. That's kind of how this whole thing's been. You know,
that's how it all works. All right.
That's how it works. And if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, and so be it. This is where we're at. I know, it's nuts.
I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Of course, thank you.
Well,
I'll be around.
Right. So for now, this is a Carnage.
And Slice.
And who are you? Say goodbye, Disco.
Oh.
Disco Bliss.
Woo! All right, bye.
Bye. Hey, Mom, did you listen to my podcast?
What's a podcast?